You're in a meeting, sharing an idea you know is valuable, or you're presenting to senior leadership, hoping to make an impact. But as you speak, you can feel it. People aren't engaged. Some nod politely, others glance at their screens, and a few just look blank. It's frustrating, right? You've put in the work, you know your content, but if your voice doesn't carry confidence, if your delivery lacks energy, if your presence isn't strong, you might as well not speak at all. So many professionals, particularly those in tech, IT, and project management fields, often treat presentations as mere data dumps rather than a transformative moment. They believe their expertise should speak for itself. But in a fast-moving, high-stakes environment, being right isn't enough. You need to make people feel something. The speaker had presence. They used their voice with intention. They didn't just speak, they commanded attention. Now, contrast that with the speakers who fade into the background, the ones who are too quiet, too fast, or too monotonous. So that's where professionals in tech, engineering, and project management struggle the most. So if you're speaking too quickly, rushing through points like an information machine, monotone delivery, giving every point some weight, making it hard to follow, lack of vocal presence, not projecting confidence so people don't feel their authority, or minimal engagement cues, so avoiding eye contact, stiff posture, or fidgeting instead of owning the room. And the consequences, well, in team meetings, your ideas will get passed over. In project pitches, stakeholders hesitate to buy in. And in leadership settings, you don't get recognized as a strong communicator. And in high-stakes moments, like investment pitches or conferences, you miss the opportunity to establish credibility and influence decisions. Your voice isn't just how you communicate, it's how you establish authority. So, what's the shift? Number one is to own the space. Whether you're sitting or standing, ground yourself. No nerves, fidgeting, no slouching. Confidence starts with presence. Make eye contact count. Instead of robotically scanning, establishing a genuine intentional connection, focus on one person per idea, then move naturally on. Vocal contrast is key. Vary your tone, the speed and volume. Pause after key points to let them sink in. If every sentence sounds the same, nothing stands out. So here's why such an approach works. Our brains crave contrast. If a speaker delivers information in the same tone, at the same speed, the brain stops registering it as new. That's why people start checking emails or zoning out. Their brain has decided nothing important is happening, but when you introduce changes in pace, tone, or emphasis, you wake people up. You signal you to pay attention. This part matters. And sometimes one small shift can change everything. I worked with a senior software engineer who was brilliant, one of the smartest in his company, but in meetings, he kept getting overshadowed. His voice was flat. His ideas technically made sense, but they didn't land. The fix? Pauses. We worked on slowing down, giving his words room to breathe, and in just a few sessions, instead of brushing past his points, they actually engaged. So presence isn't about saying more, it's about making what you say matter. If this is something you struggle with, ask yourself, what's stopping you? Maybe it's the fear of sounding awkward, or the fear of being judged, the fear of speaking up and getting ignored. Those fears keep you playing small, and the biggest mistake, focusing too much on yourself. Great speakers don't think, how do I sound? They think, how does my message serve the audience? The moment that you shift from self-focus to audience focus, your confidence changes. And let's be clear, confidence isn't about being loud, it's about being grounded. You don't need to be the most extroverted person in the room, you just need to be trusting that you belong in the conversation. Authenticity comes when you stop performing. and start communicating like you would in a high-stakes conversation, clear, direct, and engaged. And if your energy is low, so is your influence. Energy is volume and it's conviction. If you don't care about what you're saying, then why should anybody else care either? And the best way to control your energy is your breath. A strong, steady breath keeps your voice clear and powerful. It gives your message weight. If you want to be more engaging, start by breathing with intention. Try this before your next meeting or presentation. Walk into the room or log on to the call with a sense of ownership. Stand tall, breathe deep, and own the space. Before you speak, take one intentional, slow, steady breath. And when you start, speak to one person at a time, not to the room as a whole. It's simple, but it changes everything. If you only have 5 minutes to prepare for a big presentation, don't waste it memorizing. Instead, ask yourself, what do I need them to feel? What do I need my audience to feel? This is because when you focus on impact, not just information, you go from being just another voice in the room to someone who commands attention with respect. Your expertise means nothing if no one hears it. Your voice, your delivery, your presence, that's what makes people listen. Master that, and you won't just speak up in meetings. You'll be heard, respected, and remembered.